Okay, starting day 2. With example 3, we're going to prove the alternate interior angles converse. So the first thing you want to do is find your given, and you see that it is the first line. 2 congruent to 4, and if you take notice there in the vertical angles position, two congruent to 6. It takes the prior two statements to come up with that one. So that's a transitive property of congruence. And now I say that the angles are congruent. And if you look, 2 and 6 are corresponding angles. So this is the corresponding angles converse. And anytime you end with parallel lines in a proof, anytime you end with parallel lines in a proof, it will always be some kind of converse as your reason. Okay, not only can we write what we call a 2-column proof, but we can also write it in paragraph form. So this is pretty much the standard way of writing a paragraph form. You use it is given, and then whatever is given, that R is parallel to S. So by blank, 1 is congruent to 2. So let's first look at the diagram. Diagram looks like this. So we can see where these angles are. We have P and Q. R and S. We have angles 3 here, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so R is parallel to S. So by what theorem could we say 1 is congruent to 2? Well, that would be the corresponding angle is congruent. It is also given that 1 is congruent to 3. Okay, that's in my given statement. Then 2 is congruent to 3 by, we needed those two prior statements, transitive property for angles. Therefore, by what converse is P parallel to Q? That would be the alternate interior angles converse. And you have to make sure you write the converse or it will be wrong. We have this thing called the transitive property of parallel lines. Think about your if, ands, then. So if P and Q are parallel and Q and R are parallel, then P is parallel to R. We're going to use that to show that the top stripe is parallel to the bottom stripe in this flag. So we're going to start out, we know S1 is parallel to S2, S2 parallel to S3, then S1 would be parallel to S3. Transitive property parallel lines. And we're going to just write something easy here, so we don't have to continue that on. And since S3 would be parallel to S4, follows S1 would be parallel to S4. And you can continue that same pattern until S1 is parallel to S13. Okay, so you have some to try. See how you do, and then fill in or check your answers and anything that you need to fill in. So pause the video and then check your answers. This one you're missing, that this one's G and that's H. Okay, we're given 3. This can go into 5. And this number 8 is going to be very similar to what we wrote about the flag. We know all steps are parallel. The bottom step is parallel to the ground. Transit property parallel lines. Top step. It's parallel. To the ground. Okay, we're just going to close out the lesson. How do you prove lines are parallel? We can show corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, or alternate exterior angles are all congruent. Or we could show consecutive interior angles supplementary. And that ends day 2.